interesting thing is this actually is a client we are currently working with who they were halfway through, they were going through a digital transformation, and they were going through that transformation. And they were basically taking a look at their entire infrastructure, and they were saying, all right, what do we need to change? What do we need to modernize? We need, as I mentioned at the beginning, we need to not be in the situation we were last year. And how do we avoid that? We need to go through this digital transformation project and change. And that's really what this is about. While they were going through it, they realized that they didn't notice that they had a legacy workload automation solution. That legacy workload automation solution was not built for the cloud. It couldn't go into the cloud, and that was their biggest driver for making a change. The unfortunate thing is they were halfway through the implementation when they found this, so obviously that meant they had to pause everything, really take a step back, look at their legacy solution, and determine why they needed to make a change. And the things that you see on this particular slide was feedback that was given to us from them, because obviously we're working with them to modernize their workload automation solution. First one is manual change management. So everything was manual. The way they made their changes, the way they requested, everything was manual, which meant that when your developers were ready to go, they had everything ready to be promoted to production, and they were completely waiting for the operations side to do their job to automate that code. And it was wasting 5,000 hours of time per year, and it had no integration with the SDLC. And so it was completely siloed in the way that those things were happening. It also, obviously, as I mentioned, not built for the cloud. There was no cloud option, and there was zero integrations with the cloud applications. And when they took a look at it, they were going to have to use old school rudimentary tactics in order to get the integration with those cloud applications. And they said, no, we're not going to go down that road. The third one was no self-service capabilities. Again, with the silos, there wasn't even any access granted to the developers. So they had to wait for the speed of the operators to build their automation of their applications. And developers wasted a lot of time waiting for these changes, asking for these changes, and so forth. And then the fourth one is, it's very important for an intuitive design that shows the applications, the business, what they need to see to be able to make informed decisions on whether they go or stop, and if there's issues and failures in their workflows, that's where they need analytics and information so that they can make decisions on whether they need to go around it and continue or they need to fix the issue itself. As a part of that, another thing, just as I'm thinking about it, legacy solutions don't have the ability to do self-help and self-healing. That is another huge thing that we're talking to a lot of clients about. Your legacy solution should have some, or your modernized solution should be able to do some self-help and self-healing. That's another huge trend that we're chatting with a lot of organizations about. I know I just jumped there, but getting back to this case study with this client, the fifth one, which is important, minimum vendor support and investment. So when they said, oh, these things are lacking, they went to the vendor and they said, hi, Mr. Vendor, can you please make some changes to this solution so that we can do some of these? And they said, no, effectively, we're not going to go down that. We're kind of in maintenance mode. And that was another reason why they made a change. So those are important tasks or important triggers for them to make a change from their legacy solution to a modernized solution. So what did the actual modernized solution look like? And so if I pop to the next slide, so the first thing they did is they said, all right, our modernized solution that we're going to go with, we need a vast amount of reinvestment from that vendor. They found it. This particular vendor is reinvesting all the time back into the product. They're constantly evolving the product, and that is important to them. The second thing that they said was important to making their decision was a self-service ability. We want the development community to have access to what they need to do so that they're not slowed down from doing their thing and getting their code promoted to production. The third one is a cloud-capable solution. So having all of the hooks being able to be deployed in their private cloud so that they can have all the integration points and really make it ease of use as it relates to those integrations. The fourth one is full SDLC integration. This particular solution has the ability to have full SDLC integration. There is some orchestration that has to happen, but it was enough of a head start to where they said this is good for us. The fifth one is intuitive design and analytics, and the solution that they chose, they wanted to have the ability to see a holistic view of their application and see where things were at. And not only that, but provide them with analytics on runtimes, trending, what happens if they make changes, simulation, all those kind of things that they have now that they didn't have before. And then the last one, which is really a no-brainer, is 99.9% uptime, which enterprise-wide high availability at all levels of the software itself. So you may ask, why aren't we talking about which products and so forth? Our goal is really to understand what your requirements are. And when we understand your requirements, that's when we actually say, that's the right solution for you, or that's the right solution for you. And so really that's how we've always done it. We have some to pick from that we know are the best of breed, and we need to hear from you what your requirements are before we actually say, well, yeah, just pick this one, or this one makes more sense, and this is why. So if we just put products out there, folks would pick products without our help. And that's really what we want to do, is we want to understand your requirements, hear where you want to take it, what's your digital transformation look like, and that's one of the reasons why we kept this kind of a little more broad. So if you have a legacy solution, or you're still not 100% sure after what we talked about today, this is what we do. And this is what our organization does. And if you're wanting to start down your automation journey today, you can go to our website and there's more information. We took a snippet out of there and presented it here. Workload automation modernization is our expertise, and so is digital transformation. And I know digital transformation is much more holistic than workload automation modernization, but we work with a lot of organizations who say, we're starting this major digital transformation project. We know workload automation should be a part of that. RMT, can you help us with making sure that we're doing the right thing as it relates to that?